get into any issue of disputed lands. If you know the one-day area, one-day, Ologo, Olympic, and all the rest, this has been this is a crown land owned by the states, and which communities have been selling one way or the other. Communities got into the land. It was acquired long ago. Government paid compensation to communities. Unfortunately, communities decided to encroach. Now, what government has done basically is we've gone to the place, looked at it, and found that there is no infrastructure. This land originally belongs to the state. So the ordinary thing that could have been done was to tell these settlers to get them out of government land. However, because of who the governor is and the need to protect the Enugu on the investment, because most of these places have been built up, what the governor did is engage with them, engage with our team, agree what needs to be done to ensure we make the place habitable for those people. And so instead of you paying for the government land, what the government has said right now is, no problem, you pay a token for infrastructure and get your CFO, and we will not charge you for the land any longer. To deal with it. What that does is that it removes the burden from the people, the disturbances from the community to the government directly, so that government puts to rest the issues on those locations.
Okay, now people will be wondering if the government just came in and decided to set up a new system, whereas there was something that was working for them before. The question I have is, what was the ultimate challenge that the government saw that made them to want to come up with NGs? Was there racketeering? Was there confusion? Paint a picture of what was on ground that made NGs a necessity.
Okay, you know, just like you said, you listened to governors doing a lot of NGs, you heard what the governor said. If you please, you remember governor talked about issues about land racketeering, situation where people had double allocations, and all whatnot. Like I said earlier again, if you listen, if you remember, I said that out of 10 cases in courts today in Enugu, around 7 are land-related issues. That doesn't bid well for the states and investment direction of the government. Again, you also heard me talk when I talked about urban planning and the fact that Enugu has not grown in a long while. So all these things are keyed into the plans by the governor to grow Enugu from 4 billion to 30 billion within the period he's going to stay. So if you look at this, you find out that the core of what happens around here has to do with land. And if you've got to grow investments, the investment climate here, you must ensure that the challenges related to land is dealt with. So the governor saw that from day one when he came in, got into the Ministry of Lands, looked at it, identified these flaws, and clearly put in place mechanisms to deal with these flaws. That's actually what brought up the birth of NGs.
All right, Oji.
We exhausted everything.
Well,
right here.
NGs, what does it mean for existing landowners in Enugu? For those people who own parcels, maybe they bought from communities, maybe they bought from, you know, so what does it mean for those people who have existing CFOs? Because they are wondering now, okay, I've heard NGs, I understand it, I understand the challenges, but what does it mean for me? What do they do now with their CFOs, with their documents?
It's about digitizing your properties. It's about making sure that your land investments are safe and secure. It's about ensuring that you're not holding a document that means nothing at the end of the day.
Are there documents that mean nothing?
Yes.
Right?
You could hold documents that mean nothing.
And how could it actually prove that? Is there a way of reaffirming?
That's why NGs exists. That's the real reason why NGs exists.
So what kind of documents now can someone build that just mean nothing?
Good. I'll tell you, a lot of people move around with them. Okay, I'll also give you an example again. we're doing a verification in lands around certain areas around New Enugu today. I don't know whether you know that.
Yes, sir.
Areas covering Ndume, Lakeside, New Jerusalem City, Independence Loud Phase 3, Zion City, and all around there. The challenge we face is that a lot of people there are holding documents that mean nothing. What do I mean by meaning nothing? I mean nothing because some of these lands were wrongly sold. Some of these lands were sold while someone else held the title to this property. So you could be holding the property, the title to the property, and fraudsters sell this thing to Oji. What Oji is holding obviously means nothing. So that's what we're trying to deal with. We want to ensure that this does not exist to drive the required investment climate in the states.
All right, on a final note now, what would you like to leave Enugu residents with? Seeing as you are here, certainly you mean business, NGIS is here. What do you want to tell Enugu residents to make them understand what this system means to them in its entirety? Because lots of misconceptions are out there, and I would like you to use this opportunity as well to share your own final word on this.
Okay, thank you. Like I said when we started, NGIS is here to drive economic prosperity for genuine investors and landowners. For genuine investors and landowners, it's here to share economic prosperity. And the governor is determined to grow investments in the states through that. Anybody who is investing money, who earned money, will understand what he's gone through to earn money to invest. A situation where people bring money from diaspora to invest in properties in Enugu, and at the end of the day, they see that their investment is lost in the air. Cannot continue. People have done the wrong things. We've let land grabbers get into the space, created bad image for the government and the people and the states. We can't let that continue if we've got to grow investments in the states. So Enugu indigenes should calm down and support the government. Nothing that what government is about to do is in their best interest. Any investor who is interested in investing anywhere in the southeast has an opportunity to come to Enugu now. This is the time for investments in properties. We can tell you, any such investment you do, you can go and sleep with your two eyes open. It's going to be safe, it's going to be very secure.
You mean closed?
Yes.
Your two eyes closed.
Your two eyes closed. Sorry.
Okay.
Your two eyes closed, very safe and secure investments. Because one thing we assure you is that with the level of infrastructure being done by the government today, properties here, the prices will triple within now and the next few months.
All right. Now, people will be wondering, before we round this up, when can they start to access the system? Can they start now, or is there a timeline that you
We've started, the system is already up. However, we're still working on the system, but it's up. So, in a short while, every facet of the system will be up and running. And that's what we promise. But right now, most of the things we promise, we're already delivering. Your search is done in less than 15 minutes, and you go with it. And we'll continue to drive these processes to ensure that we deliver as promised.
All right, so the official date will be released soon when we can all start to engage.
You're already engaging. Everything is open.
All right.
The only thing we're saying is that every process, if you process, like your CFO, we should give you 72 hours.
Okay.
That's, for us, that's where once we hit that, then everything is good. That's the only thing that is remaining.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. And we'll continue to watch and see, since you've said that NGIS is live. Of course, people will be encouraged to go and check it out and see the interface and start to interact with it and really see what it means. Because sometimes you have to learn on the job while you're doing it. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Are there going to be like iOS applications for phones too?
The apps, will you have NGIS apps?
No app yet.
Okay, it was in plans, in the works.
Yes. Okay. Now, because there are certain things we're going to do in a short while. as we grow, we want to create opportunities where, if on your properties, you can see, yes, that's not just on us. We're going to work with some groups where you can see all about your properties at a click anywhere. Your buildings, progresses. If there's anything, anybody going into your property, as in there's anything happening on your property, without your consent, you see it.
All right, so what you're telling us now is that people will no longer have to construct walls to show that this is their land, because their land is their land,
Yes,
isn't
land
it?
is your land. That's what.
All right, and they will sleep with their 2 eyes closed.
Closed.
Not open.
No,
All right.
2 eyes closed, sorry.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chiwetalo, for joining us on the show, and we'll continue to monitor development with NGIS, and of course, we'll be happy to communicate so that people have the right information. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thanks for the time.
The morning show returns after this quick break. Do stay.
What are we looking at?
Thank you guys for joining us for this unforgettable night.
Everything is fine.
Paw Patrol is on a roll!
It's Max Verstappen in the lead. The megastar is here.
Absolutely sensational.
Let's go!
What are you guys doing to us?
Get unbelievable entertainment that is unbelievably easy to own. Get and stay connected to DSTV.
Abani kò ṣe tí ò bá ṣe kò sí tẹ́nì kankan lè fi wá ṣe. Bàbá Lẹ́gùn bàbá wa ó jó tí ò jó mọ́ kò jó mọ́ náà.
Adéyìnfẹ́.
Ṣé wọ́n ló ṣe? Ṣé kí ni? Kógun já àwọn èèyàn mi. Sọ ọdọ́gbọ́n fún mi ni.
Join us on Gyno Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254, and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breastfeeding. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome back to the Afia Morning Show. Thank you for staying tuned. Of course, I'm Nathalie, and Oji is still here. Now we're slowly winding down this Wednesday edition. And just a quick reminder, for those of you who are curious about the Enugu State Modern Transport System, please stay tuned to watch Enugu Kwenu right here on Afia TV today at 4 p.m. as we'll be having an interview with the Commissioner for Transport, Dr. Obiozo. Barring any last-minute changes in plans, he'll be shedding more insights on the new infrastructure that we have seen, observed all around us. Barrister Chiagozie Wabuko joins us now. He is a legal practitioner, a mediator, and of course, a conciliator. Thank you, Barrister Chiagozie, for joining us.
Good morning, Good morning, Oji.
Welcome. Yes, so I think people can guess why you're here. The Nigerian Bar Association has chosen Enugu as its destination of choice.
Congrats to His Excellency, congrats to all of us.
Exactly, for its annual conference, and the Enugu State government has already offered ICC to that effect.
Yes.
And lots of people have been seeing.
ICC.
I'm sorry, please correct me when I'm wrong. Correct me when I'm wrong. The Tier Rubber brand new International Conference Center, right? People have been eyeing it, and the questions that have been asked. I remember Sarabuchi pointedly saying, has anybody used the ICC yet? Sarabuchi Anwea Yago. Yes, he was like, has anybody entered there? It's been commissioned, but who has entered? Any event has been hosted. So now we're seeing that NBA is going to be housed there for their annual conference. How would you react to this? Were you happy with the news? You know, do you side with the leadership of NBA when it says that Rivers has an unconstitutional government and cannot be a state that would host its conference?
Well, I received the news with excitement. In fact, after the unlawful and unconstitutional declaration of state of emergency, some of us went to the social media and advocated for the venue to be relocated to another place. In fact, we advocated for Enugu because we know that we are well able to host the biggest bar in Africa here in Enugu. So I was one of those who advocated for this. When the news came out, I was happy, I was excited. What's happened in Rivers and is still happening there is a travesty. It's a civilian coup, whether we like it or not. So NBA, I'm with NBA 100% because NBA going to Rivers State for the conference is more or less like an endorsement of that illegality. So NBA had to bear its fans to say, we can't, NBA has no issue with Rivers State as a state, but then NBA needs to take a stand against the illegality that continues in Rivers State till present. So NBA had to come out and say, no, we will not agree with what is happening there. So NBA going to Rivers State for the conference is simply maybe agreeing, you know, with what the federal government is doing in Rivers State, which is unconstitutional and remains unconstitutional.
All right.
But on a lighter climb, how are this conference is being held almost every year, right?
Yes, it's an annual conference.
How are places, locations chosen on a very good day regarding the conference?
Well, basically, we consider security, that's number one.
Yeah.
We consider facility on ground, for example, facility like ICC and other facilities that can house thousands of lawyers. Then we check the connectivity in the community. So if you can move, ease of movement in a particular state. We also check the hospitality sector. So I think Enugu State has all these things. We are secure. We have beautiful 5-star hotels in Enugu. We have ICC is there. And we have ease of movement in Enugu. And we have a booming transport system that will be unveiled any moment from now. So I think we are ready to host the biggest bar in Africa.
Regarding, River State was chosen for this year, but regarding to what transpired right there and all that. So now, 300 million naira was given, right, to fix things and whatnot. Why? Because this is going to even generate more job for the people of Rivers State. But unfortunately, what happened and all that stuff. And now, the government of the day is calling the NBA
illegal government. The illegal government of the state. From you, not from you. I'm just like saying it. The illegal government of Rivers State.
Is calling for a refund of those monies. What's your take on it?
NBA should not refund any shishi. I know I'm using this phrase. NBA should not refund any shishi. Take that from me. Now, these reasons are very clear. The Ibas, Admiral Ibas. Ibas, I don't want to chew my tongue. So, Ibas, he said that NBA discredited Rivers State. That was his statement. He says, by relocating the conference, that NBA discredited Rivers State, number one. Number two, he said that money was paid for hosting rights. See, these are things that we should consider. I tell people, let's not be sentimental about this. So, refunding that money is simply mean that you are agreeing with Rivers State paid money to secure a hosting right. There's nothing like a hosting right. The MBNX simply sat and said, fine, let's go to Rivers State. And then, that was 2024 August, that it was decided that we'll go to Rivers State this year for the conference. Then in February this year, the government of Enugu, the proper government of Rivers State, now sort of gave a support to Rivers State for the conference. And that's why NBA is saying, if you say we receive this money for hosting rights, prove that there's nothing like a hosting right. So these are things that we need to consider. There's nothing like a hosting right. Now, NBA refunding the money is simply agreeing that there was undue influence somewhere, that Rivers State had to pay money as a bribe to NBA to host the conference in Rivers State. So these are things we are trying to avoid. Now, if you give a gift to somebody, and tomorrow you say you are retracting that gift, the issue is, who is the appropriate person to say, I am retracting a gift? That is the issue. So NBA is saying, Oga, we don't know you. We don't know you. And moreover, this is a gift to NBA. So if you're saying you are retracting the gift, let the proper person come and say that I gave this gift, it's not a gift, it was a bribe, I need my bribe back. or I unduly influence NBA to come to Rivers State. That is the implication of FIFA money. And let us also not bear in mind that the Rivers State government is not the only organization that has been supporting the activities of NBA conferences. So if I say, let's refund, what if organizations start asking for refund for conferences held over the years? These are the things we are looking at. So if we are saying, refund this money, refund this gift, what we are saying is that any organization, any state government that had supported NBA over the years can come out tomorrow and say, refund our money. Since we are refunding Rivers State, their own support.
Setting a precedent already.
A precedent.
So now, looking at
a monstrous precedent.
All the lawyers are going to be converging in Enugu for this annual conference, the 2025 conference. What does it mean for the state? What could it have meant for Rivers State had it held there?
Well, it's an opportunity for us to showcase Enugu State to the world. It will boom our tourism industry here in Enugu, that's number one. Number two, it will boom businesses in Enugu. If you have a business that is in Enugu, it's an opportunity for you to market your business because we are having over 5,000 lawyers coming to Enugu. That's a huge market. So it's an opportunity for us to market Enugu. There are a lot of misconceptions about Enugu for people, especially those who are outside the southeast. It's an opportunity for us to market Enugu. Come to Enugu and say that Enugu is peaceful, Enugu is secure, Enugu is prosperous. Then it will also boom businesses that are in Enugu. Those are the takeaways that we expect.
You know, what I've noticed is a lot of people who come on the program are very quick to endorse the state of the state, if I can say that, the state of the state, without prompting. You know, like you just said it now, you've marshaled out a lot of points about Enugu, and this is you just speaking in your capacity. So what it shows is when things are working, people tend to be able to express their opinions without prompting. Now, let us look at the ICC. Some people have come out on social media and they've said things like, the ICC would not be enough to accommodate all the lawyers should they converge in Enugu State. Do you share that view?
It's not true. Those who are saying that, have they told us the capacity of the ICC and the expected, because it's not just enough to come on air and then make unfounded claims. If you are saying the ICC will not accommodate, tell us the number of lawyers that are coming. Tell us the facility there. Tell us the facility, the accommodation there, and then just oppose it with your view. You can't just say ICC is just a guesswork, as long as I'm concerned. If you are saying it will not accommodate us, tell us the capacity of the ICC, and then also tell us the lawyers that are coming, so let's see whether it will accommodate us. I believe that these things were actually considered before. You see, before they agreed to come to Enugu, there were two bodies that sat over it. The MBNX sat over it, and then referred it to the committee. They had a vote. 69 voted straight to take the matter to a committee to look into it. 67 voted outright relocation. NBA executive decided that to go to a committee. So the committee had come on ground, they investigated the place and found that Enugu has a capacity to host. Let us also bear in mind that the last NEC meeting was hosted by Enugu State. So they are aware of the capacity of ICC to host it. They are aware of the capacity of Enugu State as a state to host. So it's not a mere unfounded view, understand? So they have visited Enugu. They have visited the ICC. The Conference Planning Committee has come to Enugu. They have toured this facility. So it's not someone that will sit in an armchair and then give his own personal view. The committee planning this conference, the AGC committee, has come to Enugu. They have looked at these facilities. They had the number of persons who have already registered online for these conferences, and they have known that Enugu has the facility to host it.
All right. So
unless we're having ghost attendants, which we don't factor into this.
Okay, before we let you go now, people are hearing about the NBA conference, and wow, that's all we know. Would you mind to share just a brief insight on what it's, when it's happening, what it's about, how long it would last, issues that will be discussed? Many people think that one of the key issues would be the Rivers crisis.
That's why we should go to Rivers.
At the heart of the crisis.
Yes. The admin of the locals out.
Yes.
Of the state of drive us away from the venue.
Great. So when is it happening? Tell us about the timeline.
22nd to 29th of August.
All right.
So it's actually a week-long program. So we are discussing burning issues, burning national issues about security, about rule of law, about issue of state of emergency, which we continue to say is unconstitutional. What is happening in Rivers State is a travesty. So these are the issues we are looking at as the law, interaction between the people and the law, the rule of law, and then security issues will also be the top honor in our discussion.
All right.
What happens after those conversations?
At the conference, what happens? How is it implemented?
Well, we continue to advocate because it's an association. So we don't have the force of law to carry out the laws. But what we do as an association is to try to advocate for good governance, advocate for rule of law, because what MBA basically stands for is for promotion of the rule of law. So we continue to advocate and maybe in the passage of time sponsor bills, push the National Assembly and get the people to do the right thing.
As a legal practitioner, Oji, go ahead.
Let me ask an uncomfortable question, right? I know, some of the legal luminaries that apparently bend the laws of the land will definitely be there. So how do you people actually look at these people, and when you guys are having your conversations, and they are there having conversations on things they have somewhat or somehow, did the wrong things instead of the right things? How do you guys converse, and how do you guys look at these people? And
we'll keep on saying what is right. It's left for them to change. So even if that it doesn't, just like we converge and say we are going to Enugu, we cannot stand the travesty going on in Rivers State. So we'll continue to uphold the rule of law without fear or favor or looking at faces.
Okay. As a legal practitioner, while we round this up, could you briefly tell us your expectations from the state as it prepares to host this annual conference?
We are expecting one of the best hosting of conferences. It's been a long while they came to Enugu, so we are excited, and we believe that, like the governor of Enugu State, His Excellency Dr. Peter Bisimba, had assured MBA that they will have seamless, interesting, wonderful hosting of this year's conference. We are expecting beautiful takeaways. Let them come to Enugu. We've been going to Port Harcourt for some time now. Port Harcourt, Lagos, and Abuja. We've been eating bole. We are tired of eating bole. Now I want them people to come and eat abacha with us. So they are welcome. We are believing that Enugu State will do proper, perfect hosting of the conference. And the AGC is planning. And the committee is doing a very wonderful work about it.
Barrister Wabuko. Shut down August. Enugu.
August. All the leads to the ICC is going to be fun.
Okay, now I'm starting to think that the government has been saving the keys for the NBA conference.
Seriously.
Just a conspiracy. Because I wanted,
I was
walking by. I wanted to walk in there, and when I saw the security man's face, I turned around. So that's on a lighter note. All right, we're already out of time though, but thank you, Barrister Wabuko, for joining. Thank you so much, and we'll watch and see, and hopefully Afia TV will be able to collaborate and spread the word.
Afia TV will be there live from day one to the last day. That's why we need to come to Enugu.
We'll sign the agreement first. We'll have to sign the agreement. Thank you, Barrister Wabuko.
My pleasure.
All right, on that note, we draw the curtains on today's edition of the Afia Morning Show. On behalf of the entire production team of the AM, I'll call it Express today. Thank you for watching. I've been your host as always, Nathalie Uku.
And I remain Oji Nwachiku. Have a splendid Wednesday. Bye for now.
Hey ladies, join us on Gyno Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel